Hello everyone. After my last video about data strategies, I received an interesting question which was how do you select the right business objectives to target while building the data strategy? And my mind immediately raced back to an article written by Mr. Sikander Shaukat, a leading strategic management consultant. In this article, he talks about how CEOs should and are using scenario planning successfully for their business planning. And I have invited Sikander here today with us to throw some light on this and also showcase how chief data officers can leverage this scenario planning to their advantage in making their data strategies more impactful and business relevant. Hello, Sikander. Thanks for agreeing to talk to me and providing some insights on this topic. I read through your article and it's really interesting. Could you provide some insights on what is scenario planning? And before that, a quick introduction about yourself and how CEOs are using scenario planning for their goal setting.
Hi, Madhur. What an interesting topic to be discussing. We do a lot of work on strategic management with a number of clients in the energy services companies. It includes banking companies and healthcare providers. Scenario planning is a way of visualizing what the future is going to look like. And what it does, it enables the executives who are going to work and deliver their goals within the future see with great clarity what future they're actually going to be carrying out their planning in and making their decisions within the context of that future. Now, given that we live in a very changeable world, and we have been doing, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon, the only mechanism that is usable in that kind of context is scenario planning, which actually deals with both external and internal trends. And we call these variables, and we actually work with these trends as sort of variables. Now, we further go on within the analysis in scenario planning itself to then go and reduce the uncertainties within the future context itself. So the whole project of scenario planning itself is an exercise in analytics.
Right. Thanks for that, Sikander. A follow-on question to that is how do heads of departments and chief data officers then use this scenario planning exercise that you spoke about that the CEOs and others have built up?
Right. What we do is actually involve the departmental heads in planning the scenario because it has to be relevant to their context. So it's very important that their business and the challenges they're facing is built into the scenario planning. Now, so as I mentioned before, we use these variables, and these variables then direct the attention of the CDOs on where, when, and how, and the data they actually need to be focusing on, and what analysis and AI they may need to build by looking at that particular sort of data set of the variables in question. And the very important thing is having an agreed context within which the data analysis is being done actually builds trust in the organization. To give you an example, sort of one of the trends that we are all looking at, and that the inflation is going up. Right? The marketing and operations, say in a fashion goods retailer, and they know that their customers are very price conscious. Now, how much are they going to be buying from your business? And here comes this, by looking at that trend, the CDO can now mine the data and say that this is the likely size of the sale given the inflationary pressures on the client base. They can also say who those clients are likely to be.
That's very interesting, Sikander. So you mean that the business strategy and the business world is going to be very dynamic and the scenario plan is likely to be very agile and an evolving piece. So how does a chief data officer support the business in this kind of scenario?
something called organizational capabilities. These are not individual competencies. These are a set of processes, skills, information, and tools combined. The CDO's mandate involves several capabilities. Budgeting and planning is going to be one of them. Policies and standards is another one. The sort of technology and tools they want to use would be part of those sort of policies and standards. But then they have to have a capability in data sourcing, and the management of that. They have to also have a capability in data demand management. And then after all of that, then they also have to have the delivery of the information services to the businesses and the support of those services. Now the latter piece needs to have a very agile model. Because business is changing so fast and the strategy is likely to change so fast, the future context is going to be unfolding all the time, they need to have agile framework to actually deliver the dashboards and the insights.
Agility and becoming more agile to deliver the requirements is going to be the key for the business, or key for the chief data officer to kind of effectively overcome all of these challenges and support the business effectively.
In fact, it's a little bit of a contradiction, if you like. In one side there's formalization of capabilities, but on the other side the delivery part of it has to be agile and iterative. And those both have to live together. And that's going to be a very serious challenge for the CDO to actually sort of deliver.
My last question to you would be, are there any tips for chief data officers that you would have going into 2022?
Data informs everything so there'll be increasing demand for data management. So that will pose several challenges for the CDO to be successful. Firstly, it is now realized that that data doesn't just need to be quantitative. Qualitative data is also required to make sense of the full context. So there will be that would be a challenge. They will need to source CDOs will need to source that data, and they will need to be able to work effectively with it to help the management make their decisions. Secondly, there will be a lot of demand on data. Right, so there will be a lot of demand on the services required, and it will require intense focus to actually deliver those services. And it will also require an upgrade in practices of actually pipeline management and requirements registers that data CDOs will have to actually be putting in place to actually handle that. And thirdly, one of the key measures of the success of the CDOs would be the ability to provide meaningful insights, and that would be a critical measure. So I think we'll be leaving behind the experimental space within which CDOs were working, and we'll be coming into more institutionalization, formalization of practices for the area of business.
Thanks a lot for this interaction, Sikander. And I believe the CDOs who are able to utilize and support the scenario planning for the CEOs, the scenario planning will be used more and more, are going to be more successful. Thanks everyone for watching our video, and please do let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be posting some of the material that Sikander has referred to in the post below, so please do visit that, and please feel free to ask us any questions if you have. Thank you.